There we go. What's up, Yamins? How you doing, buddy? Hey, Trelia and Tricky. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, Sir Wiener. Morning, everybody. Hwa build counter destruction. I think she's absolutely awful on counter. I think she's nearly unplayable unless you have the most insane gear in the world, and even then, you're basically gearing through having a bad build. Hey, happy holidays, Knight. Good to see you, man. Been a while. That's just my personal opinion from the experiences I've had. She is not all that on counter. Let's see. What do we do about this? Hey, X-Shot. Thanks for the sub, man. I appreciate it. Well, this looks a little tricky. Let's see what we can do. I rolled 5K and didn't get her. Glad I didn't get her now. Let's see. Let's start. Where do we start? Let's start here. Let's not burn. Let's not burn. Let's just stick a defense break here. Hey, Vortex Queen. Thank you for the sub. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna have to deal with Harsetti, so let's... I'm gonna be able to burn my Hwa, which means that is dead, so let's just start it into Mort. And let's do this and blow up Mort. My turn order, or my my choices were a little off. Son of a holy freaking sacrifice. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. Let's, I don't even think we need to burn now. Just in case, let's burn. See how much damage this does. $48K. Damn! Do I also use Harsetti? I have two different ones. Yes. Yes, I use her often. Okay, so here's one of the big problems with Hwayoung is this is going to happen, and you just got to cross your fingers she doesn't go into Senya. Okay. We're good. If she went into Senya, we'd kind of be in some trouble, right? Well, this is actually going to go into Senya, so we're still in some trouble. Wait, she's bad? Man, the hype was so high. She's not bad. She is just incredibly hard to gear. Probably the hardest unit to gear in the game. Pow. this is what most people experience with Hwayoung, right? Is it looks like she's doing good, and then she just dies. Hwayoung's biggest counters right now are Child Senya, BBK, and Bellion. And the problem is Child Senya, BBK, and Bellion are freaking everywhere. Now, if you can avoid those situations, she's quite usable. Much harder to gear than Faithless Litica. I think she's the hardest unit to gear in the game. So let me see. See if we can find a... Okay, and here's another problem with her, is Bellion, right? You would think, oh, it's an all-light team. This is where she's supposed to shine, is versus an all-light team. And she kind of does, except that there's so much bulk here, and everybody focuses into her, it's rough to keep her alive. Let's see if we can... We'll just do this. Okay. We're going to cheat and get her some souls. Now, situationally, she's really, really, really good. But you got to have those specific situations. Okay, we'll do this. That'll generate some souls. And who do we kill here? I think, honestly, Bellion is going to be our biggest issue. She's keeping us from generating souls. She's probably on 3F, so let's kill Bellion. Her S2 gives defense. Why do you think it doesn't? Her stats work just like they do on every other unit that has skills worded like that. Pop, pop, that's dead, that's dead. You come back to life. So now we've got 2 extinct units, right? Now we're in control of the fight. Now she'll come back. She'll probably... Let's see if we can just get her to S3 herself by hurting her a little bit more. I think she's still going to S3 Crow. It's going to be close. So their HPs are really close. I think it still goes into herself. No, of course it doesn't. Oh well. So a couple things you need to know about Hwayoung. First is you need to run her semi-fast. You need her cycler skills. If you run her slow, she'll get focused, targeted, and killed. Trying to run her like base speed, 130, 140 speed, probably not going to work for you. Second thing you're going to need to know is if you're going to try to run her on counter set and make her really, really tanky, accept the fact that she's not going to do a lot of damage, and she's going to be hard countered by all of the things that mess with counter, like Child Senya, like, because sooner or later she's going to realize you're on counter, she's going to hit you to get you to counter into her to activate her, right? Mort, who stops counters in general. There's a lot of things that mess with counter, and her S1 doesn't really hit that hard. Her S3 and S2 are where the magic's at. And on counter, you're going to lose all that gear score, and she's an incredibly high gear score requirement character, and you're going to run her on really high bulk, so you're probably not doing much damage anyway, so you could literally take just about any other counter unit bruiser in the game and do it better. So I think counter is not the way. If you're having some success with it, that's great. Shoot me a DM and let me know how it's working for you, because I have not seen anybody make counter work. I hear that KJ is running it, but you gotta understand that KJ is not a normal human, right? His gear is so insanely good that he could make Enot look amazing in RTA, right? You savvy? the next way to go is damage. And let me show you the first build that I made with this unit. 1 second here. Got it saved here somewhere. Somewhere. What do you think, guys? Pretty insane, right? 4,100 attack, 330 crit damage, and I've got 18k health. You know what this unit did? Not enough damage and died. Even at 168 speed, she wasn't fast enough, and she was just getting run over and hyper-focused, because remember, her passive doesn't work when things attack her. But light, you're taking her into light units, and light units are going to be elementally drawn into attacking her, which means you've got to bring a secondary dark unit and convince them to target that dark unit to activate her passive, which is tough to do because you can't protect her with barriers or stealth or anything, so it's a coin toss who they go into first. So you kind of need them to be fragile enough dark units that the first AoE hit hurts them a lot. So RB works really, really good with her. But this build, I used her on launch with this build, and as good as this is, and this is a really, really, really good Hwayoung. She wasn't killing, and she was just dying. So I changed her up a little bit. Now this is what I'm running. All right? Little bit of a shift. Right? A little bit of a shift from where I had her. So we added about 300 more attack to her, and we added about 30 more or 20 more crit damage to her. But most importantly, I added about 30 more speed to her because we dropped all of her HP. We lost 8,000 health to be able to pull off this kind of damage. And you know what I found out? She died the same amount of times. When you're running her like to nuke things, you're running her aggressively, bruiser units aren't typically synergizing with aggro styles of fighting, and I think she's an aggro unit. And she, unable to have the protections of stealth and barrier set, unable to be protected by things like gold barriers and immortality. I don't think she works well as a bruiser. I think you got to run her as a nuclear DPS unit. You've got to make sure she's got the damage to kill. Now here's the other real pisser, is try building this. It wasn't easy. Took some of my best gear. And another thought is you can drop the crit chance a little bit, right? I did consider doing this, and I might still do it. The only thing that's stopping me is I really don't want to take this, neck off of my LPK, but I could do this. Now, before you say 50-50 crit, remember she's out there to kill the light units. I'll take the 10% chance that she doesn't crit on the dark units because she's probably, or dark RGB units because she's probably not killing there anyway. But this would like kick her damage up a notch, so I might kind of do this. But again, these are not new player friendly stats. These aren't mid game. Hell, these aren't late game player friendly stats. She is a 1% of the 1% unit, right? I think she is a Legend High Emperor tier gearing unit. I think most people that are going to try to build this unit are going to be frustrated and disappointed with her. All right, let me give you my overall synopsis on Hwayoung. Hang on here. I actually wrote some of these notes down. So, yeah. So, my overall synopsis on Hwayoung is counter set's just bad. It feels really, really bad. She doesn't self-heal on her S1 unless Sigurd's Scythe procs. And when you're running her with enough damage to kill, her HP's low. If you're going to run her with enough HP to be able to survive on counter set, It's going to be harder to proc Sigurd's Scythe, and when she does, she's not going to have the damage on her S1 to fully heal up from the counter. She's going to be slow, she's going to get focused, and the damage is just too strong. If you're able to make counter set work, you could probably make her work better on speed or destruction set. She requires pen set. If she doesn't have pen set, she's simply not going to do enough damage, period, end of story. If you decide to run her as a bruiser, right? Like, if you decide to run her as a bruiser, kind of like this, you're going to find that as long as you can soul burn or defense break the opponent, this works great. But if you're going to run without soul burns and without defense breaks, you're going to have a very hard time killing. So Bellion is going to ruin you. People that cleanse are going to ruin you. If you're going to run this style of build, you really need to guarantee that you've got soul burns and defense breaks. If you can guarantee that in your fight, then this build is, I think, top shelf. But you're locking yourself down to the situational issue of not having defense breaks.
Hard counter ML TristenWulf, one unit, who would ignore cannot be buffed or debuffed.
Yeah. As I was saying, you're locking yourself down to the situations of you got to make sure you always have souls and the ability to defense break. Speed DPS seems to be the way, right? 190 and higher speed, and either on speed set pen set or destruction set pen set, and 4K 350 on your damage. If you build like this, then suddenly her S3 and S2 don't feel terrible. Suddenly she starts killing the things that you want her to kill, and with a soul burn she'll kill just about anything that's not incredibly heavily mitigated, like insane defense behind barriers with Ilanov on the team. Those are always rough to get through. Like this, she does good. She still has issues of when souls are blocked, she's a little harder to use. When it's a giga tanky team, she's a little hard to use. And when there are units that punish her, like Senya. Senya actually does counter her, because if that S2 goes into Senya, Senya can just about one-shot her with her health this low. So, makes her a little tricky to run. So, my conclusion on this unit is the majority of players are not going to be happy with this unit. They're going to feel that she's mid, they're going to feel that she doesn't do enough damage, they're going to feel that she just dies. The top end players are going to be worried about what this unit would look like if they buff her. The worst thing Smilegate could do is allow us to buff this unit, right? By that I mean allow her to get things like attack buff and stealth. Things like that would break the game. It would turn her into old Fire Hwayoung, where she just kills everything and you can't play without her. And I don't think that's healthy. I don't think it's healthy that every single ML5 that comes out gets buffed to the point where it's a pull this unit or you don't get to participate in RTA currently. It's not okay. It's what happened with Lua, and it shouldn't happen here to that level. And when we tell Smilegate to buff a unit, and they do it, they're seldomly judicious with their buffs, if you get my drift, right? They usually go like, oh, she just needs a little buff. Like, oh, little buff, fine, let's give her everything. Right now, the biggest issue she has is in order to build her good, you need like top 1% gear. In order to build her at all, you need like top 1% gear. And in order to build her good, you need like Emperor tier gear, right? Top 1% of the 1%, right? And that is a problem. People will pull this unit, they'll realize they put their best gear on her and she hits like a wet noodle and then dies, and they're going to say this unit's terrible, needs a buff. But when they get the gear it's good enough to run her, then they're going to be like, oh, you know what, she's pretty good.
Entire Reddit Epic 7 community do, crying that she needs buff.
Yeah, well, the entire Epic 7 Reddit community is sometimes right and sometimes really, really, really stupid. In this case, I think they are actually more right than they've been in the past. I think she does need a little something, but just a little. I think something they could do that would make her better is to make her easier to build. Make it easier to hit the stat points where she works. Maybe give her a 50% crit chance passive, right? So you can have you can spread the gear around a little bit easier. With 50, with what, that's like 75 extra gear score from a 50% innate crit. You know, kind of like what Zahak has or Zeo has, just 50% innate crit, and you would be able to build her. I think guarantee crit is not a good idea. It just continues to spit in the eye of Landy, and I don't think we need to just make anti-crit that much, you know, that irrelevant by making every difficult to use unit guarantee crit. But I think giving her 50% crit chance would be enough. That would be enough that would let the average players build her instead of her being out of reach of 99% of the community. Another thing they could do other than that would be to increase her damage versus light units. That likewise reduces the difficulty of building her, and that would actually be a more judicious buff to her. If they make her hit light units harder, she will feel more appropriate in her role. With lower quality gear, you can do the things she's meant to do, which is kill light units. She'll still be trash against RGB and dark units, but that's okay. That she's not meant to kill everything. She's not meant to be the OG Fire Hwayoung. Like Little Queen Charlotte is meant to kill dark units. She's not meant to one-shot Mort. This unit should not one-shot Mort. She should be able to do decent damage, and she does. You drop 13k into Mort, you know, what are you bitching about? 13k is pretty impressive damage. But she should be able to, on a soul burn, one-shot anything with, you know, decent gear. Not insane gear, but decent gear. So that would be my recommendation to Smilegate, is increase her damage versus light units, or give us a little bit of free stats to make her a little bit more accessible. Because I think right now that's her problem. It's not that she's a bad unit, it's just that she's inaccessible at most people's current gearing capabilities. It's also really, really early. The chefs might be able to cook up some niche tech with her that's going to be insane and amazing. She's only been out like 48 hours. We need to give it a little bit more time before we start pulling the trigger of needs an emergency buff, right? But should you pull this unit, this is a unit like Faithless Litica, like Sylvan Sage Vivian, that you should try to build before you pull her, right? Whip out a Scorpio Warrior unit like, well, Rem, if you've got her, she's a Scorpio Warrior, or Arunka is a Scorpion Warrior. Wukong is a Scorpion Warrior. I think there's a free one out there somewhere. I wish we could sort by... stats. Is it Sigrid? No, she's Taurus. Well, anyway, find your... Where was it here? Find yourself a Scorpion Warrior, right? And then put gear on it and see what the stats look like. This is what your Hwayoung would look like. Alright, so if I put... if I put my Hwayoung's gear onto... Yeah, if I put my Hwayoung's gear onto Wukong, he would look exactly like my Hwayoung. I'm trying to remember what pieces were where. There we go. Those stats look familiar. 4100 attack, 350 crit damage, 192 speed, 10k health. The crit chance is a little low because my Hwayoung's got crit chance imprints. But that's all you need to do to see if you can build this unit well. And I think the stats you're looking for are 4k 350, right? You can maybe go as low as 4k 340, and of course like 41 320 would be fine. Run the numbers back and forth. You can punch them into the Epic 7 damage calculator to see how hard she hits, and what you want to do is see if she can kill a unit with your stats that's got decent bulk, right? So you want to go over to the damage calculator So just search for Epic 7 damage calculator in Google, bring it up. Make sure you get to the most recent version. Put in bystander Hwayoung. Put her on Sigurd's Scythe because you're really not going to run her on anything else. And then put in the stats you got. If you're able to build 3,800 and you're able to build 340 crit damage, come down here and say, okay, I've got elemental advantage because I'm going into a light unit. I've got pen set because if you don't have pen set, you're not building this unit. And the enemy has got, let's say, 1,600 defense. And you can look, and without a soul burn, you're doing this. So you're killing most Ruels. You're killing some Ilanovs, but you're not killing Last Rider Krauls, most of them. You're not killing Dragon Bride Senyas, unless you can soul burn. If you're soul burning, you can kill anything. So if you can build this level of Hwayoung, you've got to remind yourself, I can only take this unit into fights where I have souls, or where I can defense break the enemy. If you can defense break the enemy, you can kill anything. So you'll need to draft her with a defense breaker, or you'll need to draft her with book, and you'll need to avoid Bellions like the plague. And remember, you can't use Frida with her to get free souls, because Frida puts souls on that front row unit via a buff, and she can't be buffed. Now, oh, and also against Ilanov, if Ilanov's on the table, her pen set does nothing, so you do even less damage. So you'll have to say, okay, I can go into Ilanov only if I can soul burn. If Ilanov's on the table, I am probably not killing anything. And that's with 3,800, 340. That's pretty respectable damage point. If you're able to build 4,500, but you can only get to 320 crit damage, suddenly you're fine. Your S3s kill most things, unless it's a 30k HP unit. So LRK wearing a barrier might be a problem at 1,600 defense. So this will let you kind of figure out, is your build good enough? And once you've decided that your build is good enough, and let's see, the build I've got here is 4180 by 350, so I do 4180 by 350, and I go, you know what? I'm happy with this. 30k, I can kill most things. Now, sure, some things with barriers are going to live, and this is with 1,600 defense. If suddenly they go up to 1,700 defense, suddenly I'm struggling to kill unless I can soul burn. So it'll let you math out how good of a Hwayoung you can make. And then, if you can make a good one, then you can say, okay, now I'll buy her. Now I'll go ahead and get it. A 2k Ilanov? Easy. You just go down here and put in 2,000. And yeah, I kill any Ilanov in the game with soul burn, and I kill some Ilanovs. Not all, but some. If I have an attack imprint on the team, and I can get an attack imprint over her, I think I'm in pretty good shape. So that's how you can kind of math it out. Now, the reason that we don't want her to be buffable is look at this damage with an attack buff. She kills everything. With 2,000 defense, she kills everything in the game, and we don't want that. Imagine this unit attack buffed and stealthed. It's not good. We don't want her to be buffable. But what we want is this to not be so punitive. To not be so hard to hit these stats, because I'm telling you, building this Hwayoung took some of my best gear. And although I'm no KJ, I've got pretty good gear. I think I got better gear than probably 95.5% of the players in this game. And I still can barely get her to the edge of reliably killing people in her primary job. And that's kind of rough. So, do I think she needs a buff? I think she definitely needs a little something to make her more accessible. I think once you've got her built, then she works fine. And I'm scared to death that Smilegate's solution's going to be just to let us put buffs on her. And that would be game-breakingly great disaster bad. I think making her always crit thumbs the nose in the face of anti-crit units like Landy, and Landy is in such a bad place right now. I don't think we need to kick that girl while she's down. I think giving her 50% free crit would be enough to let people build her. Give her Zahak's passive, 50% crit. Give her Zio's passive, 50% crit, innate. And that would give us, that's like 75 gear score, guys. That's enough that the average late game players, the people who are going to want to use this unit, can build her. She'll still be out of reach of the early to mid game players, but within a year of gameplay, they can build up to using her. It'll let the veterans use her. Right now, most of the veterans can't use her. I think that and or increase her mods just a little bit versus light units, right? You can see when we, oh, I accidentally killed the screen. Anyway, you can see it in the damage calculator when you turn on and off elemental advantage. The damage she does is significantly different. She hit light units a lot harder, but I think if she could hit light units just a little bit harder, I think that would make it easier. That way, I mean, easier to build. We don't need her to have a different kit. We don't need her to be buffable. That's a whole ass can of worms. We just need her to be accessible, and that's the biggest issue. The reason people say she needs a buff is because they can't build her the way she needs to be built to play her properly. And normally you say, well, just get good, farm better gear. That's true with pretty much every unit in the game. I can't get Janua to kill anybody. Well, then your gear sucks, doesn't it? Get better gear, because Janua on decent gear can kill just about anybody. Hwayoung on decent gear hits like a wet noodle and dies. Hwayoung on epic gear does freakishly crazy good things, but most people don't have that level of gear. And it's not that I'm saying they've got to take the gear off all their other units to build her. I'm saying she doesn't. People just don't have that gear. And in a hype unit that everybody likes, everybody's excited about, everybody wants to use, it doesn't feel good to play this unit and have it not work. And she just doesn't work on lower end gear. And it's a doubly bad situation when these new players go and watch streamers who have Elf Mage level gear, who have Vic Chun level gear, and they're out there just murder stomping people with this unit. And they get hyped and they go and pull it, and they put their Molagora in there and they invest it, build up, load it up, walk it in, and just watch it hit like Frida's pool floaty for damage, and then she gets murdered, and they feel scammed. They feel like they got a fast one pulled, and I don't know. Sorry, I got distracted by this tank top. Holy shit, she is just really just falling right out of that, isn't she, guys? Yo. Now, if you want to just look at this unit for hours on end, pull her. She is absolutely gorgeous, right? I will never give anybody grief for pulling for waifu, but I do. That's my take on it, right? She could use a little something to make her more accessible, because she works just fine when she's built right. Ooh, this is a little bit of a tough situation here. Sylvan Sage Vivian hits hard. Let's try it. Let's try it and see. But Hwa can one-shot her? We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I want to get rid of this barrier so that we have a better shot at one-shotting her. So we'll start here. Bang, bang, bang. Let's stuff this into you. I'll put this... We're going to save this here, because I think we're going to need to one-shot this. So let's see. Let's make sure... Let's try to get a curse on Koeric. Sometimes they have ER, might be a little dodgy, but let's try it. Is what it is. Okay. We kill this. We burn just to be safe. I don't think I need to burn. There's no knights, right? And without a burn, we do 29k, right? Do we be greedy and save the burn? I guess there's no real reason to save the burn.
Smilegate know the Webbervin is bug, happy holidays, gift box exchange, and winter holiday gifts send you to the same page.
Oh yeah? I'll look into it after this fight. Stupid web event. Okay, so this is gonna happen. This is gonna hurt somebody enough to piss off Hwayoung. And Hwayoung goes hopefully into Vivian. Show me the 50-50. Oh, so nice. So you see, when she works really, really well. But I had to have the damage to one-shot the Ruel. I had to have the damage that the S2 one-shot that Vivian. And that is not an easy gear level for most people. Pow. Where else can we go? Man, look at all these light units. What a bunch of great options. I mean, let's just friggin' Senya murder this. Somebody didn't get the memo that you can't just put Harsetti alone on a team anymore. Okay, here's a couple of light units with their own Hwayoung and designer Lilibet. Okay, let's see who built it better. So, You know what? Everybody's kind of slow there. So we could just turn everything off. Yeah, let's try this. ML Hwayoung is so fun on counter set. You like dying and not killing things? I mean, if you say so, man. I've not seen anybody make it work outside of some of like the most insane geared players out there, and I keep thinking to myself, wow, that would work so much better with like a better set on her. See, what makes Hwayoung so hard to build, guys? She takes a ton of attack, a ton of speed, a ton of crit damage, and if you want her to stay alive, she takes a little bit of bulk too. And how are you going to do that while you're missing about 90 gear score by running her on a set that doesn't have 70% crit damage or 25% speed built into the set? When I say she takes crazy gear to build, I'm talking about on counter and speed set. I'm talking about on a destruction or speed set. You try to build her on counter set, you must have one of the most cracked, I mean, you must live in Banshee to be able to pull it off with counter set. Anyway. If it's working for you, I'm happy for you. But I think it is objectively a bad set for her. Now, that doesn't mean you can't make a bad build work. It just means it's really, really, really hard to do, and you might be doing better. I did Loki. That one-shot team looked crazy. Hang on here. I've got to murder some people. Where do we start? Ilanov's passive is turned off, so I don't have to worry about not having pen. Where is she on the radar, though? I don't want her to cleanse. If she cleanses and... fuck it, let's kill Vivian. Watch this. I soul burn, so watch how hard this hits. 47k damage. Now, of course, we pissed off their Hwayoung, who hits our team. Hopefully hurts somebody hard enough to piss off. Oh, my God. That just straight up murdered that poor child. Oh, damn. I don't know what it is about Hwayoung, right? But, like, whenever her S2 goes off, she seems to look at your entire enemies, or entire team, and go, you know what? I think it's easier to beat up the kid, and then she always murders Frida. We could be in a bad spot here, guys. I think we might be dead. I don't think we can win. Yeah, I think this is over. Yeah, I could have S1 and prayed for a dual attack. Oh man, look, it's a counter one. Wow, I actually lost to a counter Hwayoung. GG. If you give her the ability to be buffed, she'll be a great disaster. We do not want the ability to put an attack buff on this person. We do not want the ability to put a stealth on Hwayoung. Anybody that's thinking all she needs is to be buffable is not thinking with the best interest of this game at heart. All you're doing then is making this game impossible to play unless you have this unit. It would be a great disaster on a level that would make Fire Hwayoung look like a kitten. They need to give her more damage against light, or they need to give her more crit chance. That's it. That's really all she needs. Yeah, Benny Mars Tachi on Hwa. Have fun with that. Grass Angel has the gear to build ML Hwa on counter set. I would say fewer than 500 people, maybe 1,000 people tops, have the gear to build a functional Hwayoung on counter set. Okay, so Luna wasn't it for this team. I just didn't bring enough secondary damage to deal with this. Let's go back to just let's just go back to Melissa. Is it really Melissa? Purse. S3. It's just dealing with her. Let's try it. I see people complaining about her absolutely dumpstering RGB or dark units. LQC does not do that either, so why should Hwa? Right, but she should be able to dumpster light units like LQC does. And she doesn't, unless you build her with insane fucking gear. Let's start over here. Leave you stunned. Don't need to burn this. Actually, I kind of do need to burn this because I really need you to be defense broken. How is Hwa? If you have like the most top end gear in the game, Hwa is freaking amazing. That is a very, very dead Ilanov. I don't even need to soul burn. If there's a defense break, never waste a soul burn. Watch this damage. 50k. Okay, who you hitting? Don't hit Melissa. Why? Why does she always hit the child? I mean, I guess Melissa's not a child. She just looks young. Okay, here we go. Do this. Pow, pow, bang. Left side counter, 100% proc rate, am I right? A right side counter? And there she goes. Hard freaking unit to use. Now, why didn't I pick BBK? BBK would have been fine into this. She would have run over what's left. Well, a little bit of pilot error, I guess. Am I seeing this being Lua 2.0? I mean, it really could be, because Smilegate doesn't know how to buff judiciously. I'm really worried that when they buff this unit, and they probably are going to, when they buff this unit, they're probably just going to say, oh, well, we'll just let you buff her. We'll let you put attack buff. We'll let her wear Benny Maru's Tachi. We'll let you we'll let you run her with C Phantom Politis and have Spatiotemporal Fan make her stealth. Yikes. I don't see them buffing her, to be honest. It depends. If enough people stop pulling on her banner, they'll buff her. Remember what they said about ML Lua? They said that we've heard your complaints, and after research we found that she wasn't performing to expectations, so we're buffing her. At the time they said that, she was the 30th most picked unit in RTA. She had a top 40 or 50 win rate. Her win rate was far above 50%. She was proving to be one of the most effective units in the game. 57%, one of the most effective units in the game. So how was she underperforming? What was it that she was underperforming at? Oh, people weren't pulling for her. Enough people started saying this unit's terrible, don't bother, and people stopped pulling on the banner. The way she was underperforming was financially. And whenever a unit underperforms financially, whether it's ML Lua, whether it's Architect Leica, whether it's Hwayoung, that's when they buff her. That's the performance metric they're looking for, is are people interested in pulling for this unit? And the moment that banner went dead, they buffed the shit out of Lua, and suddenly everybody pulled on the banner. Success! Now she is performing to expectations. So that's probably what will happen if people aren't pulling. Right now, the banner metrics probably look really good on Hwayoung because she's beautiful and everybody expected her to be insane. But she's hard to use, she's cumbersome, and a lot of people are going to stop pulling on her because it's going to be pretty well known, and I'm going to let people know too, that this is not a unit for you if you are not a 4 to 5 year veteran of this game, or somebody who spends a lot of money and plays consistently and has the incredible gear it takes to support her. If you don't have that level of gear, then she's not going to be a good unit for you. I mean, there'll be dozens of other options that are just better. And yeah, a lot of people are like, yeah, I got close to pity, and I sure am glad I stopped, because this unit I can't make work, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the next one that I can actually use. And when Smilegate sees that, complaints or no complaints, they'll buff her so that people will pull her. So I'm expecting it. I'm expecting the buff. And I'm just trying to get it out there that when, you know, they might look at what the community is asking for, because they're going to want to see what's it going to take to make people pull her. So they're going to look at people's suggestions. Please stop suggesting to let us put attack buff and stealth on this unit. Please stop suggesting to let us put Benny Maru's Tachi on this. If they look at that advice, have fun never playing RTA unless you get this unit.
Next ML5 is probably Tayu. You want Weipu or the guy that has an identity crisis, bro. Probably gonna be a dark unit when he looks like elemental, just like his RGB self.
Zero chance the next ML is Tayu. When numbers are down, they're going to look at making money, and ML Tayu would not make money. His kit would have to be busted crazy insane. Yeah, I think I think, Joe. He is not a popular unit. Tamarin is kind of the in case of emergency break glass unit, right? Look how bad Smilegate was doing financially in like June, and then they came out with ML Luna, and bam! The money went crazy. Anyway, enough of like prognosticating on what's coming down the road. I think it's fine to ask for a buff. I think she needs a little something to make her more accessible to the average player. Just be thoughtful in what you ask for. The last thing we need is this unit to be buffable. What we need is this unit to be buildable. And right now she's not buildable. Ask for a free crit chance. Ask for free stats. Ask for increase on her damage versus light. Something that either makes it easier to put the gear on her she needs, or that makes her work at a lower gear requirement. That's all she needs. For the people that can already do 40k damage with her, what's the difference between them doing 40k and 60k? What we need is for the people who can only do 20k damage to be able to do 25 to 30k damage with the gear they got. And that's simply addressed by more stats or more damage. That's my take on it. It would also make counter a viable build. If you could give her more stats, if you could give her more damage, it would make counter a much more viable and accessible build. Freaking Bellion. Okay, we just need to seal Bellion is all. Surely. Do you think more HP or survivability would fix it? I don't think she's a bruiser unit. I think that would make counter more viable, but it wouldn't fix her aggro nuker uses. Having her survive but not kill. I can build plenty of units that can survive and not kill. I think a warrior asking for 10 souls is kind of weird too. You think like pull a Frida, give her a free soul burn? That seems a little broken to me, but I guess that's one simple thing is let her have one free soul burn, so she can at least execute one unit. Increase the S3 multiplier, reduce the versus light multiplier to balance it out. Absolutely not. You don't want to make... her job is to kill light units, not to kill all units. I'm completely fine with her hitting like a wet noodle like that into Mort. That's not what she's designed to do. She's not designed to kill Morts. Shit. I kind of want to kill Mort, but she's going to cleanse everything, and that would be a disaster, so I think we got it. What do we kill here? Soulburn extra turn? Yikes. Okay, if we kill Mort, that gets rid of one of our primary problems, but this on 3F is just going to wreck us. If we kill this, then Mort's going to step on us, and then Ilanov's just going to kill us. She'll cut Ilanov, and then this will go. That's going to be enough to hurt everything, but not kill. It's a tricky position to be in. Okay, let's kill Ilanov. I'm going to burn just in case Arius is in play. Oh no, Arius doesn't matter for her. Well, Arius does kind of matter, right? The damage transfer is... The damage transfer doesn't impact her, but Arius does give 10% defense. So these 16k health, or 16k defense Ilanovs are suddenly, you know, like 1760 defense. Anyway, enough yapping. Let's kill Ilanov. I don't want all my nice seals to be cleansed. PP poop. Man, she was on Holy Sack too. We make good choices. Oh, nice. We cut the Mort. And If I S1 Mort, he's definitely going to counter and kill Inner Tube Girl, isn't he? I'll tell you what, when he steps on Arby, he's just going to kill him anyway. So let's put a barrier up and try to make sure everyone else survives the foot stomping. Her S3 ignores damage share, but the 10% defense boost you get just from wearing Arius, that still impacts everybody. That's not part of damage share. Oh, shit. It's just too much damage for this team. Double Holy Sack. This twat's on double Holy Sack. If that's a 3F Bellion, then we're ruined. And it's a 3F Bellion. Thank God she didn't proc. Hopefully this heals us all the way back up. Let's, hit you. Look at that heal. Look at that amazing heal we got off of that S1. Hard fucking unit to use. Let's try no. Well, I mean, we can just do this on this one. This is pretty easy. Hey, instead of Melissa, you guys want to try Elagos? Let's try Elagos, see what happens. My ML has not my best gear, but the best gear I could get to get the stats I need on her, yeah. The best of that type of gear. Let's see. Chip into this. Bang, bang, bang. Get a defense break here. 4K 350. We could try some Amaro too, sure. Mine's 43 350. Okay, so this kills. Elagos throws the suitcase. Harsetti catches it. I was really hoping we'd kill Harsetti there. What if we silence this Ruel? And just do this. Is Elagos good now? Elagos is very good now. Bang, bang. Hold on to this for a second, would you, Ruel? Oh, so good. Okay, come back to life, and then you get to raise somebody. Who you bringing back? We should try Elagos into some of these Senya comps. That'll be fun. Really? That's the unit you're going to bring back? Tell me the truth, Wolf. Is Hwa worth pulling? She has a lobby special friend at 10 like Luna and Harsetti. Mine's not friendship 10 yet, so I'm not sure if she's got a special lobby art of friendship 10 or not. I haven't seen one if she does. Is she worth pulling? If you have to ask if she's worth pulling, she probably is not worth pulling. Right? If you have to ask, she probably isn't. Because if you have to ask, then you probably don't have the gear to build her. Because if you have the gear to build her, you've been playing long enough to understand the team comps and synergies and mechanics of this game and know how the unit works. And you'll probably already know whether or not she's usable on your team or not. My strongest recommendation to anybody that's on the fence about her is to stop. Stop pulling right now. Don't pull this unit. Wait and see if, one, somebody cooks up a really good comp, or two, Smilegate gives her a little nudge, which is terrifying to me, but I think she's going to need it. She's a lot of fun. If you can build her and make her work, she's a lot of fun to play. Let's see. Absolutely no light on that team. A little nudge? Yeah, it needs a little nudge. Do you think her S2 should prioritize random light units? I think that would be incredibly difficult to code. Well, shit. This could be a small problem. Feels useless otherwise. Yeah, if they could code it, that would definitely be nice, but I don't think that would be easy to code. Give skill cooldown reset. On a 3-turn skill cooldown unit, I think that would be devastating. God damn it. Goodbye, C. Polly. This is going to be really fucking hard to do without Elegos. Like I said, the best way they could buff her is to Jesus Christ, we're dead. The best way they could buff her is to increase her damage a little bit and give her like 50% free crit. That would solve most of her problems. Is this the lifesteal one? Because if this isn't the lifesteal one, we're hosed. It is the lifesteal one. Right, but that's not what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen is they're going to let us buff her, and they'll let her, the damage she does versus light units apply towards all units, and they'll make her an unstoppable monster. And then she's a must-pull. It'll be just like what they did with ML Lua, where if you don't have the unit, you don't get to play the game, and that's not going to be good. But when Smilegate goes to buff something, they always, like, go full nutso on it, right? They don't code based on element, they code based on position on team, and that's why it's hard. The spaghetti coding that is the way the unit engine works is always a little tricky to wrap your brain around. But, you know, they already do have a targeting based on element system in play, so Jesus Christ. Sopping wet elf's having her way with me, and I'm not even enjoying it. You heard what you wanted to hear, Wulf. Blade descended. 6 years later, Arby's still one of the best units in the game. What if MLWA had pen to light units so people can use a crit set to make it easier to stat? That would work. That's the same thing as just increasing her mods versus light, as giving her some built-in pen versus light. Makes Ilanov a little bit more important, but I think it would solve some of her problems. This team, Loki, this team. Yeah, see, that's a problem, right? And Loki's got a good point. If they give her pen, they'll reduce her multis, which is going to make her harder to use into non-light units, and when Ilanov's on the field is a hard nerf. Okay, so what is a good option here? Elagos kills this, activates her. I think this is okay. I don't think we need Zeo. I think we can, I think we could clean up with Corinne, right? Zeo kills her. Lua kills 2 others. We just need somebody to finish off her. Yeah, this should be fine. She's already nerfed by Illy, though. Takes away her pen set and adds buff to the enemy. Yeah, well, she's very hard to use into Ilanov. That is a pretty fast Ruel. Okay. Can you hold this for a minute for me, Flan? What's her current problem with the moment? Is it her damage or her survivability? It's the inability to build her. You can't build her with enough damage to kill things. Oh, who gets to hold the present? Lamo, that's dead. Oh, poor Flan. 67k damage. Oh my god. Goodbye, Ruel. What do you guys think? Not bad, huh? You like that briefcase damage? Unnecessary dual attack. He dual attacked with the highest attack unit. He dual attacked with BBK, but I thought Flan's predisposition for dual attack overrode other dual attacks. I guess Flan doesn't override dual attacks with highest attack. Yeah, interesting. So this is what my Elagos looks like, for those of you wondering why the suitcase did so much damage. 4K 350 seems to be the order of the day. Yo, I got CP. Holy shit. And this is the Hwayoung. You're seeing her sometimes not quite kill, and these are her stats. Think about that for a minute. With these stats, she's sometimes not quite killing. Oh. Can we do this? I think we can do this. I want to see Elagos toss that suitcase to Senya. I think that would make my day. Let's see, who else do we want here? Boom, boom, that pushes Flan up, Flan. I think it's gotta be Melissa here. Yeah, I'll show it right after this, Numer. Nue Noir. Nue Noir. Stupid frickin' immunity. Okay, we'll go here. Pang, bang, bang. Staff of Eins Ulgon. I'm not so sure I'm too keen on that, but I guess we could. Let's strip this. See if we can get some debuffs. What unit even needs Eins's artifact? The best option is probably Angel of Light Angelica. Sage Ball, maybe. I think Sage Ball wants book, though. What are we doing here? We are killifying Mort to activate the suitcase. Suitcase goes into... Oh, I wanted to go into the child. Disappointing. Is it really even a fun game if you can't throw a suitcase with a bomb at a child? Oh, you all are hying. I'm saying it, but you all were thinking it. Just join. What am I hearing? I mean, I absolutely agree, but what am I hearing? Bang, pow. Hey, would you like to dance? No. Bang. The suitcase meta. Oh, you want to see BBK? Thought I had her on one of these teams. Hang on here. There's my BBK. So just damage. I'll probably make her stronger. I could definitely make her stronger because she lost a lot of gear to Sez. If she lost a lot of gear to Sez, cut me some slack, Zeus. Sheesh. No ER? I think ER is a scam on her. I have occasionally lost fights to ER BBKs, but I've won way more fights to ER BBKs just not killing. I am a big proponent of no ER BBKs, but there are situations where a no ER BBK fails, and then there are situations where ER BBKs fail, and that's typically they just don't do enough damage. I like my damage dealing units to actually do damage, so I don't run ER. But that's a less filling tastes great kind of an argument, right? I mean, people are going to be very opinionated on it, and it really just depends on how you play the unit. The way I play the unit, I don't need nor do I want ER. The way ER users play her, they kind of lean heavily on needing that ER to win fights. But no, you don't build two, because the situations where you need an ER to win versus the situations where you don't need an ER to win are very tiny. The two BBKs overlap 90% of the situations. It's just those little tiny fringe ones where one works better than the other, and you got to decide which one of those situations do you run into more often. Do you have situations where your BBK just doesn't kill more often? Maybe try switching off ER, and then you'll have situations where your BBK just gets controlled. And then you gotta say which one happened more often. Did my ER BBK not kill more often, or did my damage BBK get controlled more often? And that's how you'll figure out which BBK is best for your style of play. What were we doing here? Surely this team's fine. Boop, boop, boop. Ow. Mort doing more things. God damn it. Don't hit Senya. Don't hit Senya. Every freaking time. Every time. All because of Mort's built-in Sigurd Scythe. Jesus Christ, this game. That was what, a 20% chance to get 25% chanced? I just said don't hit Senya. She still hit Senya. I think she's got something in her kit that makes her go, 3 adults and a child. You know what? Let's kick the shit out of the child. Okay. Part 2. Mort, just chill. Okay, Hwa kills this. I don't need to put any more into this, so let's damage Mort a little bit here. Yeah, right? She's kind of a bully, so she's of course going to go into the child. Let's see. We'll burn. Do I burn? This is hurt enough that I don't need to burn on Hwa, so she should be able to kill this just fine. There's no barriers. There's no Arius effects or anything. So let's burn to guarantee bad things happen here. Should have been bully Hwa. Okay, and then this can just kill here. 4,300 attack, 350 crit damage. Easy kill, right? Okay, good. I was actually worried for a minute. Mort gets to hold on this. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the exploding suitcase be thrown at the child. That's a little disappointing. It was into a defense break, guys. Yeah, it was 56k, but it was into a defense break. Oh, bang, bang, bang. She bullies us back, but she's all by herself, so she's not going to do anything. She'll mostly kill Hwa here. Pop. Yeah, it's a suitcase with a bomb in it. Do you think it was just going to tickle? Oh my god, here she goes again. Who hits harder, a suitcase with a bomb or a crippled bully kicking you in the face? Ooh, this looks fun. This looks giga fun. Let's do this. In a universe where a dude splits planets in half. Let's not oversell strays, right? Those are just moons. He's only splitting moons in half. It's not like it's that big of a deal. Okay, Harsetti by herself isn't really a problem, right? Right. So we need to hurt this. Bang, bang, bang. Let's leave her stunned. Let's defense break this. Zio's allergic to bread. She's all the way in the back, so let's kill Ruel. Gonna burn just in case it's one of the world's tankiest Ruels. 30k. Suitcase into the defense broken Harsetti. Gone. S3 into Flan. Resource reduction. She's got no focus, which means she can be hit. Unless it's the world's tankiest Flan. Gone. Disassembled this team, didn't we, guys? Should I recruit Zio or Dilibet? Do you play RTA at all? If the answer is no, you get Zio. Everybody's really hyped on Dilibet, but Zio is a forever unit. He will never not be good, and he solves so many problems right now. I think you will use him more often. In high RTA, I think Dilibet's going to be more useful in high RTA, but if you just play RTA like for the skin and that's it, get your ass a Zio. Did I try Euphine at all? Only in Nixie's Sanctum to make sure that she still worked there. I haven't really built her yet. Let's find an Archdemon fight. Do we have any options for an Archdemon fight? Would this work? This is kind of weird. Can we force Archdemon into this situation? I just saw Conavid on him. He's insane. Who's insane, Celestial? Talking about Zio? Have you used MF Flan? Is she good now? I haven't used her, nor have I seen her used in an impactful way. Her buffs didn't look good. Her buffs just looked like they made her more useful in the incredibly niche way she's played. But I was waiting for Valky, because the way she's built as an aggro, or she's buffed to be a better aggro unit, to be a bridge, and all of that is very, very similar to the way that Valky plays, and Valky loves Flan. And I figured if anybody would be able to chef up usefulness for modern Flan, it'd be him. The biggest problem with modern Flan is she is still very, very dependent on having a plus 30 limited artifact. And that's not an easy thing to get. We'll try to squeeze a fight or two in with Flan, but she's just very hard to use. Sorry, got an ad there. I do play some RTA, but I'm still low RTA because of bad gear. I think Zio is going to be the best bang for your buck then. I think you'll get more use out of her. When you start saying things like, I'm trying to reliably get into champions each season, I'm going for my champ frame, I want to try to make an Emperor push, Dilbet's very important to you. But I think you'll have more fun with Zio and find more uses to him in low RTA elos. When do we get her skin? Pirate Flan? You already got it. It came out a couple of weeks ago when season ended. When do we get her skin to be in the shop, you mean? 12, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. About 29 weeks. So yeah, about 6 months. 5 to 6 months. 2 seasons from now. Whoever this next season's skin is, will get that skin. And then whoever the next season's skin is, when we get that skin, Flan's skin goes into the shop. So you've literally got to go through 2 entire RTA seasons and the pre-seasons in between to get there. Pre-seasons are usually 4 weeks. And we're only about halfway through the first one. So you've got 2 more weeks of this pre-season, then 12 weeks of next season, then 4 weeks of pre-season, then 12 weeks of next season, then Flan's skin shows up in the shop. Which I know feels like forever, but it's done that way because it's the only way to encourage people to play RTA. Sadly as that sounds. Okay, what was I doing here? Let's do this. Bang, bang, bang. Frickin' Mort doing Mort things. At least it didn't proc her into BBK. Let's do this. And then with a defense break, I don't need to burn, so we'll just do this. And what do we do here? Her damage increasing the lower the health gets. Is that a passive on her? It would have to be, right? Let's just see if we can make this hit less hard. Ow. Man, I really miss her having a blind. I don't think we live this, guys. Don't hit BBK. Okay, at least there's that. And everybody's dead. Oh no, it's an effectiveness BBK. Ah, shit. She's still killed. BBK, hard matchup for poor old Hwayoung. I didn't really bring any way to deal with BBK there, did I? Boo. Freaking Mort with a sliver of health. What could we have done differently there? Let's just find a better fight for Archdemon. Ooh. This isn't an Archdemon fight, but this is an Elagos fight, right? Except he's gonna have this unit in the frickin' back. But do I care?
Wait a sec. It occurred to me who they'd release as the next Mufai, especially if sales are down. Was worst nightmare. ML Pira, come on down.
Yeah, I think ML Rand would be a little scarier than ML Pera. Maybe, though. Maybe. Okay. Oh, never mind. He put Horchata in the back, so GG. Bang, bang, bang. It's fine. What are you gonna do with this? Go try to kill my Zeo? And this just goes right into a light unit. I don't care, just pick one. That was not a light unit. We're gonna need the burn on Hwayoung to be able to guarantee kill this, so let's just raw S3 and get rid of Flan. And then let's S3 the Great Mortelix in case he gets to hold a suitcase, right? And burn because that's a thick ass barrier and there's no defense break. We should kill. $41K, suitcase into Mort, and Mort goes poof. 58k damage. Lovely. Lovely. This Elagos unit kinda okay, guys. Kinda okay. Elagos almost makes Hwayoung look good. When will ML Ilnov or ML Senya be summonable on the banner again? Let's look. Cecilia bot. Timeline. So let's see. Ilonov came out in August. Typically, units get a rerun in 9 to 18 months. So let's be generous and say it's at the 12-month mark. That would mean like July, August of 2025 for Ilonov for a second banner. And by second banner, I mean her being in this. And sometimes it's early as 9 months. Now, she is a very, very important unit to the game, and Smilegate knows that if they put her on a midterm banner, they would make bank. So I think it'll be a little faster than that. I would expect her to be on banner probably in the maybe May, June kind of range. Just kind of my estimate. And Senya was in June, so probably around the same time. Probably April, May, June range for Senya, and May, June, July range for Ilonov for being on the in-between new units rerun banners. Now, as far as hitting the shop goes, That'll be probably fall or winter of 2025, 2026. They're a long ass way from being in the shop unless things change a lot. You will probably be able to headhunt them in 2025 before you'll be able to buy them with coins. I was thinking that too, Kurz, since the end of the Year of the Dragon is January 29th, I think. The banner after Hwayoung will probably have ML Luna in it. So if you're on the fence about Hwayoung, maybe wait until the last week of the Hwayoung banner and see what's coming next. Man, what the frick with all these Harsetti teams? Okay, here's somebody who didn't get the memo that you can't run just Harsetti anymore. We'll just quick battle him to death. No problem. And if you ever want to take a look at the info too, here's a link to the Cecilia bot site where all this information can be found. Let's see. None of these are really good for... Well, we could maybe use Archdemon here if we're able to seal the child, right? I don't know. I guess we could try it. What's the site to gear score your entire account? It's called Fribbles, and if you pull up YouTube and just in the search bar type in TristenWulf Fribbles, there'll be a couple of guides on how to put it together. Where is it? Oh, right here. The Ultimate Epic 7 Optimizer. And it's just the basics of how to install it, put it together, and get Fribbles up and running. And I really need to finish the freaking Master's Class video on it. But yeah, you can watch that and it'll help you get started to be able to gear your unit. I know, it's long. It's 42 freaking minutes, but only about the first 10 minutes is how to install it. The rest is like how to use it. Okay, let's see if this works. I don't know why Zio's on this team, but maybe we can buy a little time by silencing Mort or Ruel or something. In fact, let's just push Ruel back and silence her. Freaking Mort, holy shit. It's a 3F Mort? That's a 3F Mort, guys. Okay. 15% time. Okay, we got the seal. It's 100% counter set 3F Mort. Those are kind of fun. I think we've got to get rid of this Bellion. Because I got a sneaking feeling the Bellion's on freaking 3F as well. Yeah, 3F Mort who has successfully S1 defense broken both units on successful counters on both units. That's wonderful. Feels really good. Let's hit here. We just have to hope we survive being stepped on by Mort. Which is going to be rough with 3F and defense breaks. This goes into Ruel or the child. Either would be nice. Okay, Ruel's Gandhi. Now we can't touch her anymore because we lost the seal, and now things are going to be very, very hard. For fuck's sake, Mort! Well, that counter, I think, just killed us. Yeah, Mort's really doing Mort things here. Yeah, the 3F, I won't be able to tank it. It's too much damage. I've never in my life seen a 3F Mort on a 100% counter set who has somehow put 7 Molagora into his S1 to get his defense break chance up to 100%. That was insane. Fucking insane. A bigger part of the issue is he was dead weight. What can we do to deal with the Great Mortelix? I was bringing Elvira. Well, we're using a seal unit, so we don't need Elvira. Who do we got that can deal with Mort? That's fun. Okay, he isn't fun, but he deals with Mort. Everybody go to sleep. Yes, I know, but Luna's not fun. We've been playing Luna forever. I want to do something different. Okay, we seal the child. Injure the shit out of the HP scaling Mort. We murder the Bellion, because why not? $40K. We murder the small child. Ruel's gonna bring her ass back, though. That's a little unfortunate. Oh, she didn't even die. That's really unfortunate. Mort does his first Mort thing. As long as she cuts here, okay. Just don't get feared. As long as Vivian doesn't get, or as long as ADS doesn't get feared. She of course gets feared. Maybe this kills Ruel. That would be nice. Okay, we take it. We take it. Okay, good. The fear lasted so that I didn't have to worry about. I guess I could have sealed her. Okay. We just need... Ah, shit. Never mind. Archdemon's not going to come around because... Ah, god damn it. I'm going to get killed by bread. I hate getting killed by bread. How is Mercedes? I think Mercedes is going to be pretty good in RTA. I think she's kind of not so good into the regular arena meta. Oh, snap! 69! Death Dealer Ray! Nice job, Ray. Go to sleep. It's okay, Ray. You did your job nicely. Yeah, her stun animation is kind of hilarious, isn't it? Man, if Ray hadn't survived that, it would have been awful. There are too many things, I think, in normal arena that make Archdemon not work so well. But I think she's a really good, even a one, she might even be a good first pick in RTA. So this is my Archdemon. I think you want to run her fast. I think counter set's kind of passe. If you can get her in the 240 speed range on counter set, then that, of course, would be insane. But I think you want her to cycle, take turns. I think you put her on book so you can soul burn. I think you want her to control more than do damage. So this is my Mercedes. Now his S1 doesn't proc dual attack, but being able to sleep and get some injury on her was huge. And this is my Elagos. He's freshly minted off the factory floor. And this is the new Hwayoung. As insane as this is, sometimes she's not killing. So we'll see what Smilegate does with her. I expect enough people are going to stop pulling on her banner. Smilegate's going to buff her, because let's be real, that's the only time Smilegate really buffs a unit, is when people stop pulling on the banner. I think that's about it for newly minted units. I did change my Last Rider Crow to be Hwayoung proof. This Last Rider Crow can survive anything Hwayoung throws at him. That's a 1831 defense times 10% because of Arius. So yeah, the damage transfer doesn't work, but getting this increased 10% defense does. So effectively, this is 2014 defense. And with the barrier set, that's 27,454 times, what is it, 12%? Yeah, 12%, 1.12. So this is effectively a 2,000 defense, 31k HP Last Rider Crow. Even my Hwayoung's not going to kill this unless a soul burn is involved. So that kind of makes him immune to the random S3s and single target S3s. So that was kind of my goal, is to make an LRK that I could take into Hwayoung's and not be worried about it as much. Not feel like I have to ban Hwayoung. At least currently, until they change. Do I mind showing Elagos gear individual stats? Yeah, sure. It's kind of really good gear, guys. But you saw he like overkills. It doesn't need to be this good for him to still be useful. He's stealthed, so I don't see any real need to run him faster than this. A lot of people are like, he needs to be 270, 280, 300 speed. I don't think he does. Any more than C Poly needs to be those speeds. You aren't racing with this unit. You're not trying to be an opener with this unit. You just need for him to reliably be faster than Flan, and to be fast enough that units can't pull him out of stealth. So yeah, you just select where you take him. At 300 speed, I could take him places I couldn't take this one, but this one kills shit. And if I build him with 300 speed, and I can build him with 300 speed, he's not going to kill the things I want him to kill. Well, this is a really good way to deal with Fire Flan. Melissa is a really good way to deal with Fire Flan because of Curse, but Elagos is also a really good way to deal with Fire Flan, and also C Poly is pretty good into Flan. Let me see. You know what? I'll do one more here, right? So let's see. Let's do a U and we'll get Elagos on the team here. There's no Harsetti, so we don't need Zeo. We don't have the ability to burn. Or See, the problem is if we execute this, she's going to pop off and hit somebody, and she could probably kill somebody, so... What would be good? What would be good? I need her to take first turn. Is my Ahmed going to be fast enough? Can I use Ahmed here? Problem with Ahmed is she's slower than Elagos. Well, she's not slower, but it's RNG. And I need to be able to push her up so that she can execute this unit. Then we eat... See, the randomness of Hwayoung is going to be a problem. If Hwayoung goes into Elagos, we're in trouble. If Elagos goes first and Hwayoung goes into Hwayoung, we're in trouble. Or... we could protect Elagos, right? Like, if we protect Elagos, he's still going to go first. Kill this. She's going to pop off. And Elagos, if she dies, we're ruined. God damn it, this is a tough one to figure out. I don't think I can use Elagos on this fight. As much as I'd like to, guys, I think this is... I think we got to deal with Flan a different way. ML Crow? I mean, you want it to be a boring fight? We can make it a boring fight. Could go Crow. Crow's already barrier set, so damage Ilanov. And fucking Rowana. Rowana, Crow, into this. We don't want Flan in that. Somebody that if he dies, he just comes back and does more awful things, or BBK. Kind of like Arby instead. HP these guys up. Okay, so the question is, do you guys actually want to watch this fight, or do you want me to just quick battle it? You know what? Now, you guys said what about LRK, so let's... You guys are going to have to sit here and suffer through this. Oh no, she's going to hit a unit and almost kind of not kill it. Yeah, you're right. Shaltir is a good option. She can't be one shot. Alright, guys. Ooh, RB skills on. Vroom vroom. Isn't that a damage reduction? Nope, it's damage limit. Shaltir works. She ignores damage share, she ignores damage mitigation, she doesn't ignore damage limit. What's the consensus on bystander Hwayoung just arrived? Okay. if you aren't sure whether or not to pull her, don't pull her. If you aren't sure whether or not to pull her, you probably don't have the gear to make her decent. And that's the problem, is she has got a very, very, very high floor for gearing. And I don't mean ceiling, I mean floor. Like, if you can't get to this gear point, she's going to feel awful. And everybody that is using her that can't build her the way she needs to be built is saying she's mid, she needs a buff, she doesn't kill, she dies. These are all people that can't build her, and it's not their fault. The gear threshold she requires to be usable is like Emperor tier gearing. And the gear threshold she needs to be good is like Legend tier gearing. I'm not kidding. I'm talking like there's maybe 1,000 people in the world that can make a really, really good Hwayoung. And there's maybe only about 10,000 people that can make a serviceable Hwayoung. You can put the same gear in just about any other unit and accomplish similar goals. So what she needs is something to make her more accessible. She doesn't need to be buffed, that would ruin her, but I think she does need a little tweak to her damage, maybe give her some free crit chance, some free stats, something to make her build more accessible, right? The people that are already doing 40k damage with her, who cares if suddenly they're doing 50? Dead is dead, right? But it's the people that are only able to do 18 to 20k damage with her that she feels so bad for. So those people need to be able to do a little bit more damage, and that can be accomplished by giving her some free stats. If you're on the fence, you want to try to build her, you think she might be good for you, go find a unit with the same stats, right? She's a Scorpion warrior. So find another Scorpio warrior that's a 5-star, Arunka, Rem, Wukong. There's plenty of them, right? And put the gear on her. With the exception of imprints, the stats will be exactly the same. In fact, if you have Rem and you can use Rem or Wukong, they're probably the best because the imprints are the same if you have similar imprints. But the gear on here, you can look at the stats and then decide if you can build a Hwayoung that has, I think, a minimum of 4k attack and 350 crit damage, then you'll be good. If you're below 4k 350, and I mean even just a little bit below 4k 350, then you are only going to be able to kill with soul burn, or if the enemy is wearing a defense break. So be aware of that. If you're only if you're like 3800 330, you can make her work as long as you can guarantee a soul burn, or you can guarantee the opponent is defense broken. So it limits her scope of use even more. But if you want her to kill without a soul burn, you want her to kill without a defense break, you're going to want 4k 350, and that probably means sacking your health. And since you're sacking your health, you're going to need to compensate by making her fast. I think if you run her slower than this, she'll just get killed. Right? I tried building her, where was that image I had earlier? I tried building her like this to keep her alive, and sometimes she didn't kill. This is basically the equivalent of 4k 340, and it was just not quite enough. Sometimes she did, but certain situations she didn't, unless I had soul burn and defense break. And because she was so slow, even at this level of tankiness, sometimes she died. Now this would be a good Hwayoung if you protect her and take her into a bruiser fight. And by protecting her, I mean make sure you have mitigation, Aureus, adamant, things on the team to help keep her alive. Remember, you can't use barriers or raises or damage limits or immortalities. You can't use people like Abigail to keep her alive. None of that's going to work because all that shit's buff related, but you can still protect her behind Aureus's and Adamants. You can still run her with Ilinoff to reduce pen, make her a little bit better, but she is harder to keep alive when she's this slow. And when she sits there and doesn't kill things, and then you've got 2 turns of cooldowns waiting for her to kill things again, at this speed, that health doesn't matter. So I really think you need to be able to hit damage points that are similar to this, 4K 350. And if you can't, don't pull this unit. She's going to feel bad. She's at best going to feel very situational or mid. She's got too many counters, and there's too many variables, like her S2 passive going off and she winds up nuking BBK. Well, that worked out great. Or she winds up nuking Child Senya, and then Child Senya takes 90% of her health away. Well, that was amazing. Nothing like having the shit kicked out of you by a child with a basket full of bread. There's a lot of, if you're building a unit that's lower damage than this, you gotta have souls. So you've got to figure out how to get a book holder on your team that's not just going to get banned. You got to figure out how to not deal with Bellion. And Bellion is freaking Legion. You can't swing a cat without hitting a Bellion in Arena anymore. So I say that and there's no Bellions, but you've seen the stream today, right? There's tons of Bellions out there. So yeah, there's a lot of things that make her very hard to use. The assumption is people are going to stop pulling on her. The word's getting out that she is a top 1% of the top 1% kind of a unit as far as gearing goes, and people are going to stop pulling on her, and that means Smilegate's going to take notice and probably buff her. So sit back and wait. If they don't buff her, there is a really, really good chance that the next rotation of ML5 units is going to have is going to have a New Moon Luna on it. I mean, you're the dragon, she's a dragon, she's a well-wanted unit. Smilegate's going to want some money, so likely. No guarantee on that, but it's possible. But at very least, wait and see. It's also possible that some big brains will come out with some insane tech that uses her, and shit will change. But right now, my advice is sit on the bookmarks and wait and see what happens. Because she's even built as well as mine is built, I'm still struggling to make her work into situations that normally I can just crush them, right? I mean, normally I see a team like this, I'm like, well, there's 2 light units, I can try to, force Hwayoung in here, maybe kill. I got to make sure we get rid of this, or I can just take this team and hit quick battle and the fight's over. There's other ways around it that seem, like every situation I've seen, like, well, Hwayoung looks pretty good here. Well, somebody else is probably a little better. It doesn't mean she's a bad unit. It's just incredibly difficult to gear her. Do I think speed is necessary? Absolutely. I think if you're not running her at least like, if you're running her the glass cannon build and you're running her like 10, 11k health, I think if you don't have speed, she's never going to take a turn. She's going to get destroyed. Of course, I think slow on her is absolutely terrible. I think you shouldn't try to run her slow. She's got no mechanics to protect her. You can't hide her behind barriers. You can't give her immortality. You can't do all the things that you need to do to make slow bruiser units work. Look at all of the slow bruiser units that work. All of them have some kind of survivability mechanic, right? They self-heal when they S1. They can be, well, I mean, shit, they can all be buffed. That's that right there. Her inability to receive a buff is what makes her incompatible with counter set, in my opinion. I mean, unless you're putting her on defense, where you get the defense team gets the insane buff to counter, making it 100% chance to happen, because that's clearly a thing. I think on counter she feels giga bad, but some people are trying it out and are having some limited success. So her S2 being random was just a mistake. That could help. That could help a bit. Let's see. How about this? Very fast C poly. Congrats. I got. This feels bad, guys. We're going to get AoE stunned. Well, I mean, except for Hwayoung, who can't be stunned, and except for Arby, who's probably going to die and will come back to life. So we're fine. We're fine. It's fine. Arunka needs a similar buff, by the way. Arunka's an RGB unit. They don't care about RGB units. When was the last, like, impactful RGB unit we had that wasn't just for some form of PvE, right? Like, Janua, maybe? Mort wasn't a new RGB unit. Mort was a buff. But I guess that's fair, right? They buffed Mort. They could buff Arunka similarly, right? Oh... Get fucked, Bellion. Ow. Pool floaty of death. Aw. Melissa 2? I know what you're saying, Loki, but for a brief second there, I thought you were saying Melissa needs a buff. Ooh. See, Polly pushes back, he stuns everybody, so let's just use the same team. I love having a fast Luna. Love it. Melissa's fine in RTA, man. I showed Wolf and Roses and Evandariel how to Melissa cleave, and they just walked that shit all the way up into Master's Frame. Okay, all you gotta do here is kill Arby. Nice. And all you gotta do is kill Senya. Well, that works too. How far back is Senya? Oh, never mind. We fucking good. Let's just kill everything. Never gonna let you live down the fact that you said the buffs weren't going to be enough. For who? For Melissa? Yeah, if I said that, I was... I don't know, man. That sounds like something Loki would have said. I don't think I said that. I think you're crazy. Now, I'm the one that was always telling you to use Melissa, man. All those freaking arena comps that I gave you, that I showed you how to use Melissa in arena to, like, kill Flan and all that kind of stuff, man. You forgetting all that, Loki? Is your memory that short? How do I unsub twice? Has anybody tried P-Flan successfully? Let's find a unit that doesn't have the frickin' lolly on it, and we will try to use P-Flan. God, all of these are awful. Child. Won't work here because of her. Potentially I can do it here. Potentially? Okay, let's see. Oh god, P-Flan is such a garbage can unit, though. How can we do this? Okay, so we'll pirate here. Ugh. I just like the OG skin a whole bunch, man. And this, and now we can murder stomp this. She's wearing a bathing suit. That's what's always kind of weird about it, is she's just wearing a bathing suit. Oh, shit on a stick. We can S3 Luna and kill this. Who's getting ready to take a turn? BBK is just gonna get... Fuck. Let's just shoot you. Let's kill you. If I shot BBK, it would have, well, I guess she was sealed. It wouldn't have activated her. It's fine. Hwayoung does this. Kills who? Arby? Nope. There we go. I guess P-Flan kinda maybe sorta did something there. Right? I mean, there you go. P-Flan buff's amazing. All I needed was 3 other OP ML5 units and, you know, P-Flan kinda worked. Now, you might say she was just a cheerleader there, but we all know that she was the, she was almost the MVP of the fight, right? Almost. I mean, 2 of the deaths were due to her bombs, right? Arby only killed 2 units. The rest were bombs. I'm telling you guys. Undervaluing this Flan unit. She's amazing. Oh, God. I'm sorry, guys. Flan had a chance to be good, but just so damn hard to use now. Okay, that might actually be true, Loki. That might actually be true. She's definitely easier to build. Can we get crazy with this? Oh, I'm out of flags. I was thinking about taking a DDR and Archdemon Mercedes into this and just seeing if we could like injure seal stomp of the whole thing, but it probably would end poorly once we get stepped on. Yeah, the biggest issue with Flan, well, not the one of the biggest issues with Flan, is she's still married to a +30 limited artifact. Yeah, right as I said at Monster Typed it, we had the same thought at the same time. And one of her best synergies is with a unit that also wants a +30 of the same limited artifact. So that's a whole ass pain in the ass right there. I don't own her, but when I use her in draft mode, she frags. Got stomped by them too. Yeah, she's one of my favorite units, guys. She's legit my desktop wallpaper. So I'm kind of gutted that the smooth brain people kept her from being good. What stat line should I have on Zeo? 260 to 265 speed. And then you've got to decide if you want a effectiveness Zeo that you can use to do things like, you know, silence Ruels, always push back high ER units. Or if you want a, he's here somewhere. God damn it, Zeo. Or if you want a damaged base Zeo where you're not really worried about effectiveness, you're just building him so he can hit hard and actually do some damage. But yeah, it depends what you want your Zeo to do. If you want your Zeo to like always do the effective things Zeo does, go with effectiveness. If you want Zeo to actually bring a little damage to the comp, then go damage. I've even seen people try to do this at lifesteal, but it's hard to get the speed on lifesteal. And though that can be fun, it's not as effective as you would think. Either way, you put Book on him. Some people on the effectiveness build will put him on... I know I got a copy here somewhere. Bloody Rose, and this is an interesting angle because it adds a shit ton more effectiveness to him, making sure that you always stick the debuffs you want to stick, and if you stick the Vampiric Touch effect on the target too, it gives you a target that everybody can hit and self-heal. But you do lose the soul burn, and as nice as this is, as nice as the effectiveness is, as nice as the Vampiric Touch is, I just really like having the souls. So, Tag's Book on him I think is still the way, but Vampiric Touch does have some nice toxic uses. And as for Flan, you want her to either be full-on nuclear damage, but still fast enough to take some turns, or you want her to be on, you know, a little bit less damage, but the self-sustain capabilities of lifesteal. This artifact was for a fun little test that me and Loki were playing last night. It was a very clever team. So, best build for Archdemon Mercedes, speed. I think the days of counter Archdemon are gone. I think you want her to take a turn. I think you want her to be at least 230 speed and at least 100, 150 effectiveness. Now, Loki, you can post a link to it if you want. If you can pull off over 230 speed on counter set, that's pretty freaking crazy gear. Grats on spending half your life in Banshee, I guess, but if you can pull that off, that's really cool. But I kind of like this. I kind of like, you know, little bit of this so that the burns are impactful. I think she has to have Book now so that you can soul burn her stuff. And I'm just building her as a support control unit, right? Some people are jacking a bunch of attack on her and running her damage. They're running her on Fairy Tale for a nightmare, but I still think Book and a little bit of effectiveness to control things is definitely the way. Yeah, check this monstrosity out. If you can do bullshit like this, now he's giving up the effectiveness and he's giving up the damage, but he's supplementing it with being just as fast as mine and on counter, and he's a little bit bulkier, 18 by 16, and I'm over here at 15 by 17. His bulk is a little bit better than mine. So yeah, gives you some options. Yeah, your friends is crazy. This build right here, holy shit. Look at this. He's actually, you know, he's still got the bulk. He's faster than I am. He's actually got decent effectiveness. The only thing he's missing is some damage, but who cares with this build? This build's a fucking nightmare. I tried my damnedest. I couldn't touch this. My counter gear's just not good enough. But hey, I do have I do have more effectiveness, so that's a whole thing. Maybe Crown could be nice. Yeah. Yeah, you could, but I still think you're going to want to be able to soul burn her. Yeah, 250 speed on counter is kind of crazy. I can do 250 speed on Destro, but I can't do 250 speed on counter. My counter gear is just not that good. Yeah, when your counter gear is faster than your speed gear. Yikes. That's how you know you're a true Banshee gamer. You can build faster on counter than on speed. As for Euphine, guys, this is my Euphine. She's not built, so give it some time. I'll get her up to speed. This look on her face says it all. She's like, why are you ignoring me? So I'll work on it. I'll try to get her up to speed. The nice thing about Euphine, she's just a Jacko cleaver, but she is resistant to some of the things that slow Jacko cleave down, right? Jacko cleave sucks into Elena, whereas Euphine just bodies Elena. Excuse me. So, yeah. All right, guys. Anybody have any other questions? Anybody want to see anything else? Did Euphine get a buff? Yeah, she got basically turned into Jacko. Ooh, a piece of candy. How is 1.8k defense, 18k HP on air move? Plenty of tankiness. That's really, really good tankiness. How's your speed and attack? I mean, sorry, your speed and effectiveness, though. You got to balance it with the speed. 18k HP and 1.8k defense is not good if she's like 140 speed. If she's like 230 speed, though, that's amazing. Didn't Euphine's SD have extinction before? No, I don't think it did. I don't think she was ever. You're thinking of design or Green Lilibet, I think. 22 and 210. Is she counter or is she speed set, Frederick? If counter, that stat line sounds pretty good. If speed set, I think you're going to want her to be a little faster. On counter? Yeah, give it a try. It's a little slow, but because it's on counter, that might make up for it. Why did they have to make the Mystic amount 45 and not 50? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sitting over here with 15 freaking Mystics. I got one pull for the next ML5 banner it comes out. I'm in the shitter, guys. That cat is fat. Why is Euphine's EE a garbage stat? Yeah, it's kind of weird that they put effectiveness on Euphine. But I really kind of expected them to change her EE. Sorry to keep bringing it up, but you were going to check on the web event. Oh, that's right. Let's look here. Web. Oh, it's not there anymore.
Sorry to keep bringing it up, but you were gonna check on the web event.
Collect points. Received reward, received reward, received reward, received reward. Spend the reward. Guess it doesn't matter. We're gonna buy everything out anyway. This is taking forever. Let's buy expensive stuff. And our holiday gifts. A little bit in. Mailbox. Okay, I mean, what's the damage? It appears to be working. Yeah, I think as much as I hate saying it, have you tried turning it off and turning it on again? Yay, bookmarks. Stuff. Oh my god. You guys anybody been buying these from Hoochie? Imagine spending 100 Sky Stones on a leaf. It just feels awful. Imagine spending 100k gold on 100k. Oh, actually, we got a good charm. 100k gold on 100k gold. Don't buy these things from Hoochie, man. I mean, maybe you get lucky, but chances are you get a leaf. Ooh, a red box. A good thing. 1,000,000 gold. $1 million. Ugh, charm boxes. Or catalyst boxes. We take the charms. Use the gold and push twice. I guess if you use the gold, I don't know. This is the thing that I think is just garbage, right? I mean, do I really need more of these on top of my like 80,000 freaking AP points? I think if you're really, really new, these are kind of nice. But if you aren't relatively new, these are kind of bad. Plus, guys, Hoochie is here. That means a limited is coming. The most likely thing is the limit is going to be a custom group summon, right? I would expect within the next 2 weeks we'll have the custom group summon out there, and that's going to take a shit ton of bookmarks. You'll need your sky stones to refresh to get your bookmarks, etc. and so forth. And also, sometime in the next 3 weeks, we're going to see, and then within the 3 weeks after that, we're going to get the banner for the new Rift unit. So you're going to be needing to spend bookmarks on your triple custom group summon. You're going to be needing to spend bookmarks on your Ice Rift unit if you want to be able to farm Rift. So anytime you see Hoochie, start being very, very fiscally responsible with your sky stones and bookmarks. What's this, Odin? I would drop attack. I would put her on an effectiveness ring instead of an attack ring. And try to have it be an effectiveness ring with maybe a little bit more speed. Try to squeeze like 5 to 10 more speed on her, and I think left side would be fucking amazing. But if you want to try to make her a damage unit, go for it. But I think you'll have a lot more success with her as an effectiveness unit, as not as the unit that kills, because her burns will blow things up regardless. But I like left side better. I'm not a huge fan of the right side. Plus, it's taking gear off your Blood Moon Haste. Ain't nobody want that. But try it, man. I have not played her. I'm just going theoretical. It might be this. Anybody else on EU server able to check the web event, see if they're having any issues with that? I'm on EU and it's broken too. Okay, yeah, it looks like an EU server thing. I'll go ahead and ping the community managers. Give me a second here. What happens when you try to click on the web event? Takes you to the Warm Hearts thing. Oh, the second always just links to the third page. When you click on the... Okay, I let him know, guys. Oh, got an image for me. Perfect. All right. Okay, guys, I let him know. What else did I have to do today? Need to buy a pet. 41 hours left for Headhunt event. It depends when you started it. Domini, it starts the timer from the day you do your first thing in there, so other people might see a different timer left on it. But yeah, make sure Make sure you've locked in your headhunt if the time's running out. Make sure you got that taken care of. You don't want to miss out on that. A leaf. 100 skystones well spent. Another leaf. 200 skystones well spent. Oh. Did I finish the new Dagger Sakar? Is it up now? What is the new Dagger? Ooh, hey, a blue box. Yeah, it's up. I'm not going to do it today, guys, but let's see what the conditions are. Reputation. Dagger Sakar for Hall of Trials. Where can we see what the Dagger Sakar condition is? Oh wait, score at least 8 million points. Wow, they really just made this like, you know, pull my finger easy, didn't they? Yeah, if you did them before, it won't let you double dip and do them again. So if you've already got them from the old Dagger Sakar missions, it already counts. They wouldn't let you do them twice, but it really is just a get a raw score, huh? It's kind of disappointing. Oh well. I guess everybody gets to get this done quickly. Why did I go here? This isn't where I wanted to be. How do you do 2 mages and 2 thieves in A13? I should really redo that. I think my old guide for it is outdated. Two thieves, 2 mages. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to work anymore with the nerf to A-lots. Oh, wait. Yeah, so let's see. God, this is how long ago this was. This was before 2x speed. So I pushed her up. Any news on Moonlight Blessing 3? Are we not getting it? I think we probably get it in a month or two. I think they need to get it far away from Headhunt so that anybody that's still in Headhunt doesn't have access to it. That's what I think. I think we're at least a month away from it. Surely with an OpSig buff. Yeah, we get the OpSig buff right alongside of the Brenus banner. Did you know? I'm going to redo this, guys, because we've got so many good options now that I think we can do this more free to play. But anyway, if you've got this team, you can try this one, right? And see if it works out for you. It's a very old video, and a lot of new units have come out, but now that there's kind of been a reawakening of a desire to get Dagger Sakar done, maybe I redo this with some modern units. I remember this being like the biggest pain in the ass, though. You know, I myself did it with Challenger Dominial and got the defense break on there and then just soul burn the shit out of C-Dom and kind of like one-shot it, but that wasn't exactly new player friendly, so this one was a little bit more gear friendly. And I think at the very end I got the stats. Yeah, the stats are at the very end. Yeah, he's on a rage set, but it's not an impressive one. Yeah, he's on a speed set, but it wasn't an impressive one. Luluka was on a rage set. Again, it's almost all level 85 gear. I tried to keep the gear requirements really fucking low. And even Arby, man. It's not even a 4K 300 Arby. So, yeah. It's not exactly super new player friendly, but hey, it's Dagger Sakar. It's not supposed to be new player friendly, so. But yeah, this was done before Savior Odin existed. There's a lot of new units that came out, and I think that this is going to be a lot easier to do now. So, yeah, this video came out 3 years ago, guys. So yeah, maybe we work on that. Maybe we work on that, yeah, like starting Monday. You know, next week we start doing all the Dagger Sakar things over again. We get some new videos up on that. That would be, you know, something to do. Something to do in the middle of a content drought. We can all work together on the best Dagger Sakar teams and get a whole new series of vids up. I'm down. Yeah, 2025 guide to Dagger Sakar. Why not? Let's do it. Need to redo a lot of these old videos, man. I mean, some of this stuff, right? Some of these videos are just so hard to watch because they're so god-awful slow. I mean, look at this stuff. It's like they're running in water. They're fighting underwater. This is the Beat Wyvern with 3 Knights team. Oh my god. So many better options now. So many better options. Yeah, Jacko is going to be significantly better than Euphine in most situations. Situations that don't involve Ilanov, situations where they don't just stack up a whole bunch of water units. But remember, Jacko cleaving is very hard to do. It's called First Strike. It's by White Bat Audio. Nah, you've probably heard it before on this stream. But I doubt you've heard it in a game or anything because it's royalty free. This one you've probably heard before. Alright, guys. I was going to do a little bit of POE, but the Epic 7 stream went a little longer than expected, so I think tomorrow we'll just play some POE only. I want to show you my new gas grenade build. It's kind of crazy and fun. Very unique and unusual build, but I'm really enjoying the hell out of it. But it's already 1 o'clock on a Saturday. I need to go get my phone screen repaired. I kind of maybe sort of tripped, dropped it, and then stepped on it. So it's got a little bit of issues, so I'm gonna run down to the store and get that fixed. Don't worry, it's just a screen protector. What's POE? POE's Path of Exile. Path of Exile 2 is a lot of fun. It's an ARPG, Diablo-like kind of a game. Complex, but a lot of fun. I played it so much, I legitimately sprained my thumb, and it made it hard to hold the mouse for a couple of days. Sorry. Exile. Diablo's Exile-like. Alright, guys. Let's find somebody to raid into. Who we got that's live out there? You know what? Elsie has been a long-time supporter of the stream, and she is probably getting ready to raid into me. So let's catch her before she's able to quit. Make her stay up later. What is she playing? It says Epic 7. She must just be looking at something else. Anyway, everybody go say hi to Elsia, and I will catch you guys tomorrow for some Path of Exile. Yeah, I really think, Asherots, I really think I need to do that. I just need to get a freaking controller. Should probably just switch to Arknights. I don't care. That's where you guys are going. At least say hi and give her a follow before you dip out. I will catch you guys tomorrow. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. If I don't see you before the holidays, you have a great Christmas too. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody.